up, baby? We are back with another one. If you guys enjoyed our last podcast, you're going to enjoy this one even more because Carson is currently locked out of his house.
Yeah.
Hop on.
Yeah.
How about that? How'd you get locked out? Let's hear the story real quick.
You know, it'd be your own brothers, man. I just said, hey, roommate, I'm going for a quick walk. 10 minutes tops. Come back 20 minutes later, door's locked. He knows I don't carry my keys. It's a safe neighborhood.
Damn, bro.
It's a safe
That's what
neighborhood.
happens when you don't pay rent, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my lights are out right now.
Yeah, that's why his screen's dark if you couldn't tell there. But anyways, we'll get right into this video. This is trade for targets for this upcoming week 11 of the fantasy football season. We're near the end, so we need some juicy picks from our panelists here. So this is 12-man PPR league. Leave a comment if you like any trades you're discussing potentially between your partner or your league mates. We can analyze and discuss and hopefully give some advice. So with that, Carson, we'll start with the guest. Give us your trade for targets.
Yeah, typically they say best for last, but I'd love to lead off. I'm going to go with a quick little gloat sesh first. I said back in my last appearance that Mr. Gibbs, first name Jameer, would ball out. And since in the last 4 weeks, excluding the bye, he has dropped 25 plus every fucking week. He even had Montgomery back, and he is still balling. This kid is a scrimmage yard machine. You didn't trade for him. Now his value is even higher. Go for him again if you can, but good luck. So I'll segue into a little more attainable one.
Yeah.
So the Seahawks, man, they're a good passing offense and a good offense overall, but they've been rough here and there, and their targets have been passing around. Yeah. And as always, you have a wide receiver stud that's starting to step up, and that's Jackson Smith and Jigba. Go ahead and trade for him. His ceiling is very high, but more importantly for me, I'm a big floor guy, and he's dropping at least like 10 points in the past couple of weeks. If anything, it's a bargain buy, and if he ends up balling out towards the latter half of the season, hopefully he's a flex pay. That could become like a WR2 for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. And then to round it off, Calvin Ridley is just shit in the bed. I mean, dropping zeros here and there. And so with that, there's somehow a new WR1 in Jacksonville, and it looks like Christian Kirk's the guy. I fucked up in my other league. I actually dropped him week 1 after he was a shooter. And he's a stud now. Legit. So I wish I could have him back. But in all your leagues, definitely go ahead and trade for Kirk. Good floor, high ceiling, very, very consistent, and also a solid WR2, assuming you have a top 10 WR1. Go ahead, shit on it.
Dude, I mean, come on. I mean, the fantasy genius dropping Kirk. Why would you ever make this move? I thought you knew everything that ever fucking happened in fucking fantasy.
You know, I did, man. And sometimes gods make mistakes too, you know. And I fucked up.
Hey, I'll tell you what, William made a big mistake at this start of the year. He's currently going to be last place, if you know what I mean, in our league.
Is that going to be last place? Because I think someone's still dialed up to pay, what is it, $300 to our league? Fucking over there, Mr. Cleveland Steamer. Cleveland Steamer. I'm not in last place right now. No.
You will be after this week.
I'm not. Hey, I'm not last place. I'm projected to win right now. Come on.
You're actually currently losing.
You little Cleveland Steamer. Hey, go ahead and give your shit picks so I can shit on him, okay, Scatty? Come on, roll it out. Because I'm the guy in the back of the gym who's got the back acne because I got all the juice in the back. So you go ahead and give all your shit and fucking give me, and let's just tear it up. Come on, what's your first one? I know some nut-ass fucking pick. Come on now. Give it to me.
Bro, you're Sam Sulek. Anyways.
Come on.
All right, the first one here. You look at buy low candidates. Lamar Jackson has yet to score 15 points in over 3 games, which might worry some fantasy managers. And I actually bought low on Lamar Jackson this week. I know he had a shitty game against the Browns, but I actually made a trade with someone in our league for Lamar Jackson, and I think it's going to pan out. He's got some pass-friendly games coming up here. So it could be a decent option to pick up Lamar Jackson on the low because maybe the guy I traded with had Kyler Murray on his bench. So that could be a reason as to why maybe they have a decent quarterback on their bench that they want to start. It just really dependent on the team. So, Lamar Jackson would be a fantastic one. And coming up here, the second pick, I have Travis Etienne. Now, me and Pulliam were disagreeing with this before the podcast even started. But I'm going to tell you why you want to buy low on Etienne. And that is because he put up 6 points last week against the Niners. Granted, they are a really tough rush defense. They just signed Chase Young. But you look at ETN's schedule the rest of the year, it's not very friendly, but you can use that to your advantage and say, hey, look at this schedule the rest of the year, opposing fantasy manager. You want to trade for him? That'd be great.
Yeah, be careful talking shit over there.
Yeah, be careful, Mr. 3 and 7.
Come on, cat. 3 and 7. No, I'm sorry. That's 4 and 6 is what you're supposed to say. All right, but keep going. No,
you're gonna be 3.
Do you want me to commentate on your ETN pick? Oh, and also too, I think I've outscored you by 100 points. Let's also get that correct too.
Not this week, bro. You're shit this week.
No, we're talking 100 points outscored. Why don't you check the fucking facts, baby?
Wow,
and no, we're not picking. Why are we picking up ETN? ETN is currently right now position ranked 3. So the fantasy manager sees a game that is a 36, a 23, a 22, and a 25, and he has 6.4. You know what he's doing? He's like, bro, this whole team got fucking smacked by the 49ers. That's just a complete wipe, bro. They're not looking at it like that. They're still going to have to pay high dollar for a shitty schedule who is someone who is touchdown dependent. There was games on that stretch he had 2 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns, 2 touchdowns. You tell him he's going to have 2 touchdowns each game, and that's where you're going to have to get those high ceiling picks. I mean, I'm not trying to trade for someone who's a position ranked 3, and you're going to have to give a lot to chase a ceiling that he's kind of already at right now. So
it really all depends on who you're dealing with, the fantasy manager too. If you're dealing with a complete idiot, then they might trade you.
well, not everyone gets to trade with you, man. So fucking that doesn't get
out. Looking at a mayor, man.
Yeah.
Oh shit! All right, my last one.
I'm with you on that one, Pulliam.
Okay,
thank you,
yeah,
fantasy god.
It was always going to be a bounce back game for the Niners. They lost 3 straight. The team that's going to win the Super Bowl, and you're telling me they're not going to go into Jacksonville, one of the weakest stadiums, to smack them around. That is such an outlier week. ETN's going to bounce back. My boy Kirk's going to bounce back. Hey, maybe even Ridley. Fuck, who knows?
yeah.
I just want to let the record be known that I have a better record than Pulliam this year. So
you do not have a better record than me currently right now. So that is actually currently a lie. That is currently a lie.
We're currently rolling this during Monday Night Football.
What if I win this week? I'll be above you.
yeah. And if we are tied, I'm still outscoring you by 100 points because your team is hot ass. But keep going. What is your next person?
Yeah, we'll keep going. My last one here is Jonathan Taylor. Now, Jonathan Taylor has completely decimated Zach Moss to just a complete backup. Each and every week he's taking the carry share up and up. Like the first week it was like 60, then it was 70, then 80, then 90, and pretty soon here it's going to get to 100. So you're pretty much going to have a mid-level. I'd grade him around a mid-level to, I wouldn't say upper tier, probably mid to upper, probably a true mid-tier running back. The rest of the way, he's got some rush-friendly defenses coming up here. And you can trade low for him right now because in the past 3 weeks, he's only had one game where it's been like 15 points. So it could be a really good pickup. Now, the only thing you have to deal with is people who have Jonathan Taylor probably drafted him and they kept him on their bench for, the 4 or 5 weeks while he was on the PUP list while they were sorting out his contract issues. So that's the only thing you have to deal with is the stake that person invested into Jonathan Taylor. But I think if you offer something juicy enough, especially if you're lacking in the running back department and they're lacking in maybe you have a couple wide receivers you can part with, I think Jonathan Taylor could be a really, really solid move.
I think your best bet there is he's on bye, so you're going to be able to get something. You might be able to get someone to move off him because I don't know if he's trade low, but he's definitely not trade high at all. Like he's kind of like but everyone's seeing right now like Zach Moss obviously getting fucking cratered. Currently, Jonathan Taylor's taking over the backfield. But with him going into bye on a mediocre kind of week, yes, I think you might be able to get something done if it is juicy enough.
For sure.
I'm definitely with that pick. I think, though, if you're trading for him, you got to go with the expectation that he is probably going to finish a solid RB2. I just don't like his team. I don't like the way the roster is constructed. And the run game's just not going to be able to be proficient because they don't have a solid starting quarterback. Albeit, yes, they could stuff the box and they'll still create some magic. But yeah, I mean, definitely, if you need a little bit of juice, a little boost on the RB2 side of your team, then go for that shit.
Yeah, and I guess to start some of my picks that I got, I'm going with actually someone who's currently on Carson's team. It's Mr. Kyle Williams. I believe that he is going to come back, and Matt Stafford's going to come back after this bye, and they are going to not dominate, but they are going to return to form which was basically domination. Now, when I was thinking about domination, I was thinking about on the field. But I really don't think who is it, Henderson right now. I think he was actually elevated from practice squad when this all happened, so he really wasn't playing a major role. And we've seen, God, I got a fucking hair in my mouth. God, I don't know where that came from, but
I can tell you where.
But I mean, we've seen Sean McVay. He gets one running back and he just squeezes it like a fucking squeegee, man. He just takes it and just rips it until it breaks. And Williams will fill his role once he gets back. I mean, because he absolutely killed it when he was having his role. So if Matt Stafford gets healthy, pay attention to what happens with him. If he stays healthy and he can get on the field, then unload on him, because I think that's a good person to buy low on. And remind the fantasy manager that Matt Stafford's hurt, because when he's not there, I mean, we got fucking Carson Wentz there, and everybody wants to watch their eyes bleed completely when they see that. So, yeah, that's kind of my pick for Mr. Kyron. Do y'all have any thoughts? Any
Dude, you said you want to unload on him, bro. What the fuck?
Hey, I'm more than willing to fucking blow a load on Kyron, okay?
Yeah, I'd blow a load on Kyron too. That's why I auto-drafted him in a late round.
You didn't auto-draft? I thought you no. You picked him off waiver wire because your team's ass because you did an auto-draft.
Yeah, see, that's part of my strat every year. That's why I tactically auto-draft. Yeah, no, I'm with it, man. You know, they had bye, gonna be healthy. Him and Stafford are going to hopefully come back in tandem. If not, you know, one week after the other. And that's a team that likes to run heavy. And it's usually a good offense under McVay. Stafford's going to sling that thing. Yeah. I hope you don't have Cooper Kupp in your team still, because it's Puka Nakua's team now. Like 15, 16 points in 3 weeks from Kupp. I traded him at the right time in our league and got Jay Jettas, but that's another story.
Hey, Pulliam, how do you feel that someone auto-drafted and their team's better than yours?
Is this record currently better than mine?
It is.
And whose record's currently better than yours?
Not yours.
My team is currently better than yours. So shut the fuck up.
After this week,
my next person who I am going to currently right now is Mr. Isaiah Pacheco, who has a okay game coming back. He's probably not going to score any points. So I would tell that fantasy manager that, because going against Philly has been absolutely rough against running backs. But after that game, it's looking real good for Pacheco. And also he's tied to Mahomes, who scores points. Now, don't get me wrong. This is a situation you kind of got to figure out, because this is a different Chiefs this year. This Chiefs does not have to go out there and sling it around because their defense is tight. So what I'm going for Pacheco is I'm thinking that this defense is going to continue to do what they're going to do. So now they're going to start handing the ball off, giving it more to Pacheco, especially during the later of the season, trying to keep everyone healthy. And I also think that they're going to be in some games where it's going to be a good defense, but they're also going to have to score some because they're trying to get this first round bye, and it's currently a little bit of a dice roll in the AFC. So they're going to try to make sure they're winning these games and staying ablazing and going up. I don't really think they're going to try to take anyone too lightly, and I think they're going to end up playing all the way out. So I want to pick up Pacheco mainly just because he's tied to Patrick Mahomes. But this is a team that coming out of the bye too, Andy Reid's pretty nasty, I'm not going to lie. So that might be something to go. But he is going against a really stout Philly D. But after that, it gets really juicy for Pacheco.
Do you see a Pacheco in Jahmyr Gibbs? Are them two comparable?
No, Jameer's a lot better.
Not at all. I mean, Jahmyr's going to finish top 10. Pacheco to me is top 25. Personally, I have an unwritten rule. The Chiefs obviously are always pretty good, and this is quote-unquote their worst offense ever, but they have the mini-goat at quarterback, right? But with that, he spreads that rock around, and for some reason, they're not using Pacheco like they should. That kid should be getting every game 15 to 20 carries, and those carries should be meaningful, 70, 80-plus yards. They have a good O-line finally. They have a talented running back, and somehow he's still not, fully studded. So to me, his ceiling is just capped with how they typically run. I mean, they haven't had a solid fantasy running back since Jamal Charles. And that's not saying that they've had, no quality running back since then.
Yeah.
It's a little sketchy for me.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest sketch for me is it's just that their defense has gotten in really good, and they just gotten into games. Like if you watch them in the second half, sometimes they're just winding the clock. And now that sounds good for an RB, but in a PPR format, yards don't really matter. I mean, in that sense, unless you're catching balls. So that's kind of where it's a little iffy. And I think this is more someone I'm trying to fill as an RB2 if I'm kind of been struggling and been streaming RB2s. Currently, like in my one league, I've been streaming Hunt and Deontay Foreman, which have worked for a little bit, but I know that's gonna run out. That's gonna run out quick.
Holy shit.
Yeah. But and then my last one. This is strictly for the playoffs. Keep an eye on Mr. Derrick Henry. And the reason why I'm going to say this, he gets to play Houston twice. And the remainder of his schedule, if you currently look at it, let me pull it up real quick.
It is juicy.
It's really juicy. And I feel like this team, it's kind of funny because I think what's the stats been? If he gets over 20 carries, they win all their games this year or something like that. Is the stat that's been coming out.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
And the king of the ball, you're going to win the game.
It makes sense because most of the times game script's good for him. So it's tough to say because this past week they went against Tampa, which has a very stout run defense, but they get to play Jacksonville, who he has owned in the past. He gets to play Carolina next. He gets to play Indianapolis. He gets to play Miami, Houston, Seattle. And then he gets to play Houston and then Jacksonville. So, I mean, I think he has a chance to go on a tear. Now, I'm not saying this is like old Yeti Derrick Henry, but I'm thinking that you can definitely get some kind of juice out of him, especially with these matchups. And I think Will Levis, now he did show his stripes a little bit this week, definitely looked like a rookie QB. But I think that he is going to have some games where he's going to like shine to the point to where he's going to keep him in a game to where he can be manageable for Derrick Henry. But when I say trade for Derrick Henry, I'm not saying give arm and legs for the guy. Talk to the manager, feel him out, figure out where he's at, and if there's an opportunity, try to move on him. But if he's still thinking of him as the old Yeti, then it'd probably be best to go elsewhere. But this is strictly just looking at matchups and thinking how juicy it is.
Brother, I fucking love that. I actually haven't really considered Derrick Henry trade for until you gave a half convincing speech. I love him more now because Tannehill's not the quarterback. Levis actually has the ability to throw the ball deep, actually has some touch. Sure, he's not going to be very good every game. He's a rookie. But that opens up the running game more. And Derrick, especially as the season goes on, and especially in division, will just ball out. And, yeah, I mean, I actually might consider him now as someone who will actually be in the playoffs, something you guys won't sniff. I think that's a good shout.
Oh, we'll see about that. I mean, I think you were the most notorious person last year for missing playoffs and having fun in that loser bracket. And
the only thing I'm sniffing is your taint.
Bro, that's disgusting, dude. You should get off. That was the worst thing you could have ever said, man. Absolutely out of pocket, bro.
I didn't shave it for you.
No, don't shave it. He likes it, Harry. He likes it.
That was it. Hey, we can't even see Carson. He's currently locked out, but we appreciate you guys watching. If you like the video, like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment. End it. Come on.